Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is the Together podcast, and my name is Natalie Elliott. My partner is Cherise B, and Cherise isn't here today. But we're going to have a great time because I'm feeling great. It is springtime. I am happy to be here with you today. I have I woke up with a song like on my heart, and it was, and I saw it in a cartoon, and I can't remember what cartoon it was, but it's like I can see the remnants of it in my head, and I can't quite get it yet. But it's that old Lou Rawls song, You'll Never Find a love like this. Someone to love you the way I do. So that's the song that is in my heart today. That is the song that is inspiring the conversation that we're going to have today. And the conversation that we're going to have today, and I really would love to have Cherise on here, but we're going to get started without her. But we're talking about entrepreneurship and love today, to me, which is perfect for the springtime. So I've been a single entrepreneur for a long time, and I did not realize how that really helped me get things done. And so when you are an entrepreneur and you're single, you can work 16, 18-hour days. Like, your biggest problem is like, how do I get food to me easily so that I can keep working? And so I've done that. Like, I've done that. Even when I was in corporate America, I worked Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. I had an hour commute. So really I was at work I was work hours from like 8 or away from home. I'll say from 8 to 7 in the evening. So really long days. So I've always been used to long days. That is hard to do in a relationship. And so I will personally tell you guys that I have been struggling with my time management. And so that's why I wanted us to have this conversation today, because it can be a struggle when the business is calling you and your partner is calling you and your family is calling you and your friends. It would be nice if you kept up with some of your friends. Like, I have one of my friends, God love this girl, and I love her for being so patient with me, but we literally see each other about once a year. A good year, we see each other twice a year. So I'm so thankful to all my friends. And I hope they feel the same way of like, I love you and I get you when I can. Like, it's because building takes a lot of time. So welcome to the podcast today. Our title is Entrepreneur Couples, Entrepreneurship, How to Win in Love and How to Win in Business. How to win in love and business. And I can tell y'all right now, it's boundaries. It's boundaries and communication. So boundaries and communication. Everybody just say that with me. Boundaries and communication. Boundaries and communication. Like, if you can just understand that. Also, one of my colleagues, Yatoka Quillings, Yatoka always said if she could get her couples to understand that being married is repeating yourself with love, that she was like, half our work would be done. We wouldn't have to be therapists if we just people understand. So I think another part of communication is being patient with communication when you have to repeat yourself, when you have to say, nope, I told you my business works like this. This is what I'm not available, and being able to do it in a spirit of love and patience. So, all right. I think this topic matters right now so much because like everything is pulling, and I'm on my laptop right now. Every one of the rooms in my house, there's a space. Like, I'm not kidding y'all. Like, I'm thinking about it, and there's a space where I could be in that room with my laptop. So I have those little tray tables everywhere. And so I can be in the kitchen on my laptop. I can be in my dining room on my laptop. I can be in this room on my laptop. I can be in my basement on my laptop. My bedroom has a corner where it can be me and my laptop. And so when computers are so, and that's on on a regular day, between my laptop, my cell phone, and sometimes I have my tablet with me, like the three of them, the same time, like it's going. Where does a partner fit into that? Where does a partner fit into that? And so I have had people in my life say, like, but you're always, because I'm a therapist, right? So you're always talking on the phone. And if I'm not talking on the phone, I'm probably coaching or I'm talking to one of my friends about a business meeting or something. And so it can feel a lot for the people in our lives. And so that's where the boundaries come in. And that's where the communication comes in, to be able to say, hey, I'm going into a real busy period. So one of the things to communicate about is the cycles of your business and for you to know the cycles of your business. So, all right, I don't want to get on a tangent on numbers, but I do want to talk to everybody about the better you know your business, the better you can communicate. It's tax season right now. And so for usually accountants, car dealerships, car insurance, that was a car insurance person, we're working 6-7 days a week this time of year. And so it's real important. This would be a time where you would communicate to your partner, hey, this is my busy season. You're probably not going to see me much. How can we stay connected? Do we need to do a 5-minute talk in the morning every day? Do we need to go away and have a weekend ahead of time? So let's say that first weekend and second weekend in January before it hits and people's money start coming in, they start spending. And so knowing that, like, hey, I'm gonna have this busy season. Can we go away for a weekend and I deposit into the bank because I'm going to be withdrawing consistently for the next 15 weeks. So, so figuring that out and having those conversations. I think being an entrepreneur, being a hard worker, I, I don't think I'm a workaholic. I I think I love work, and I think there's a difference. With that being said, having good boundaries um, is needed to separate. Okay, this is my family time. This is my business time. This is my workout time, my personal time, and being able to communicate that. Many of us, work never turns off. We're never done. There's not a day where we complete the things to do list. We just take things from the next day to the next day. Like, things don't get done, they just keep getting added on. And so, understanding that, explaining that to your partner. Um, I feel like I've had at least one job in my life where when I left work and that was it. That's not the case now. It's just not. And so I'm never, there's always something I could be doing, literally. Even from my bed last night, I could be taking pictures of this document and sending them to the person that they need to go to. And I was like, nope, nope, nope. We can do that at 8 a.m. in the morning. It and so, so that's it. Okay. So let me talk about what shows up in the practice most often. And so when I'm dealing with couples, when I'm dealing with entrepreneurial couples, when I'm dealing with even just new relationships, is usually time. Like, they never have time for me. They're always working. Or so time, energy level. They don't, I'm the last thing on their list. Like, they don't have any energy left for me. There's nothing left for me at the end of the day. So time, energy level, money conflicts. I don't understand. They won't share with me like their money or how that much they make or anything. That comes up. Attention. They're with me, but they're always on their devices. So that comes up. I feel like those are the biggest ones. So finances, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But I will say, in general, if you're going into a relationship, a marital relationship, and an entrepreneur, start to work with an accountant so that you can get your finances to a level in which you can explain that to somebody else. Because a lot of entrepreneurs' finances are all over the place. A lot of therapists in general have no idea how much money they make. None. That is a whole conversation that I'm going to have on a whole nother day. I feel like I should do a special training on it. on knowing your numbers, figuring out how much you make, figuring out just some basics about yourself so you can make some good decisions about yourself. Actually, I think I did that workshop already. I might have to just send it out. But okay, know your numbers so that you can talk to a partner about, hey, this is how I can show up financially in the relationship, and what I know I can commit to. It does take some time. It does take some work. I think the biggest thing is when I'm talking to my maritalpreneurs, definitely my married entrepreneurs, I always say to them a couple of things. I say a lot to them, but a couple of things. One, to whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. To have a partner to walk this earth with. And you chose to do that. Like most of y'all. There are some arranged marriages out there. I don't want to negate that. Most of you guys, most Americans are choosing who they want their marital partner to be. They are choosing to get married. They are choosing to get into a relationship. And so you made that choice. And then you're choosing entrepreneurship. You made that choice. To whom much is given, much is required. So I want you to be very intentional about how much time you can put into a relationship and how much time you need to put into the business. Most businesses need more time at the beginning until you can get the systems and get people in place and get things handed off. And so being strategic about when you enter a relationship and when you enter into a business and how does it need to work in your life. So get intentional because both of them require work. A marriage doesn't grow on automatic. And so a relationship doesn't grow on automatic. Most of us at the beginning of a relationship, we put a lot of time into it. That's usually not sustainable, but still time has to be put into it. So I get y'all was having 3-hour conversations at night every night at the beginning. All right, now that y'all 2, 3, 4 years in, you're probably not doing that anymore. You passed that mark where we've had all the conversations. We can't think of anything to say to each other. But there still has to be some type of communication. All right, so let me break this down for you guys. In the counseling field, we call them 2 types of conversation. One is the nurturing conversation. One is the maintenance conversation. So when you're with somebody and you're living your life with them and y'all are working on a partnership, there are a lot of maintenance conversations. What we're going to do about the water heater? We need to get a new couch. What we're going to do about this? Oh, we got to be at your mama's thing this weekend. Oh, so this has to happen. And that's a lot of just logistic conversations and how to handle things. Those are all maintenance conversations. To grow a relationship, you need to have nurture conversation. So make sure, entrepreneurs, make sure that you guys are putting time in your schedule to have nurturing conversations, which is, how you doing today? Tell me about what you've been thinking about lately. What's been getting on your nerves? What are your dreams? Are your dreams still the same? Just tell me, how you doing? What's the coolest song you listened to lately? It's about the person. It's about the person, not the house, not the details, not life. It's about the person, what's in their heart. That's where you're trying to get out. So definitely make sure you put that. In the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. That's a really good book, you guys. It's an old book now. That thing might be 20, 30 years old now. And it was a really good. One of the things that he said that when he was doing his practice, he realized, because as therapists, we're talking to people all day long. He realized that he didn't have any energy for his wife when he got home. His name, I think, is Gary something. So I'm gonna call him Dr. Gary for the purposes of this. He realized that he didn't have any energy when he got home. And so he said he had to look at his practice and stop taking the last client of the day so that when he got home, he had the energy left to spend with his spouse. And entrepreneurs, you may have to do that, or you may have to work your life around to where you're spending time with your spouse first thing in the morning so they get the best of you. I have One of my entrepreneurs right now, they're spending time with their spouse at 3 a.m., at 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning, um, just because that's how everything is lining up. And that was a big conversation because that was such a non-traditional hour, but they could do it. And it's when they could both have energy and the world was quiet enough for them just to spend that time together. And so I'm okay if this looks crazy, but the fundamental of you have to spend time with your partner if you want that relation to grow. The fundamental of marriages don't grow on automatic. Like you've got to put in the time. All right. All right. So let me talk about some mistakes that I see. Number one mistake I think is entrepreneurs try to do everything and they don't sit down and think what can be delegated, what can get off their plate. In couples where they're both working together in the business, they don't have defined roles. And so, because they haven't sat down, okay, these are your responsibilities, these are my responsibilities, they both wind up doing everything all the time. And so that also leaves this gray area where there's not a cutoff. And so the more communication you have about what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, is going to help. In my couples, also, what happens in the business where they're both working in the same business together can sometimes transfer to the bedroom. In my entrepreneurs who are just in relationships, sometimes they'll let business stuff and business stress translate into the bedroom as well. And so I really want you guys to learn how to compartmentalize things, which may mean that you may have to have some type of ritual that you go through before you enter into your bedroom, before you enter into intimate space. So, and I'll say you got to probably practically keep work out of the bedroom. If y'all haven't watched the TV show, How to Make a Sex Room, it's a really good TV show that'll just give you ideas on how to keep the bedroom as that sacred place so that when you go in there, it's a place that you go to play. It's a place that you can be completely different and you're not bringing work into the bedroom with that. Making sure you show up at the bedroom. How about that? Time management. That would be good. And then I'm gonna say mistake number 3 is communication. And so I remember, y'all, I was dating a guy one time, and I think he thought that he was communicating with me, and he wasn't. And I remember saying to him, however much you think you're communicating with me, I'm gonna need you to 10x that thing. So I'm gonna say that in general, I want you guys to 10x communication. People tend to, because I understand it, I think you understand it. Because I know what's going on, I tend to think that you know what's going on. And that's just not the case. And so having strategic conversations, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is the plan for my business. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm seeing. This is what your expectations should be. You got to have those conversations. Hey, I know we talked a couple of months ago, but hey, I've made this change. And so this is how it's going to change. This is how it's going to impact me. And this is how I'm thinking it's going to impact us. Do you have any questions? And so making sure that y'all are having those conversations, because entrepreneurs will just work and we'll see the next thing and there's no conversation. So we've made a whole course change of direction and maybe our partners don't know and it's impacting us. So I would love for you guys to make things work. And to make things work, hold on, I'm just checking my all right, y'all, Cherise is still out there. And she said her battery was 8% and she was trying to get to the gate. So just know she's with you guys in heart. And she's with us in heart and spirit. And she's having one of them mornings. So she was on the runway last time she texted. Now she's 8% on her phone. So she's just having one of them moments. So here, send her thoughts of light and love. So, okay. All right. So while that is happening, I want to tell you some things that I would like for you guys to do. I would like for you to make sure you are in entrepreneurship in your business, clearly communicating the direction of you, the direction of the business, the hope, the goals are. I also want you guys to talk about what if this doesn't go right? Because a good amount of businesses fail. And I just want you to have a backup plan so that you're not out there just peddling, peddling, peddling if things don't work out and your partner's looking at you crazy because you promised that y'all was going to do this in 2027 and it ain't happening. I want you to also tell them what plan B is. So, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. This is what I'm hoping. This is my goal. And if we don't hit these or this doesn't happen, then blank will happen, or I'll pivot this way, or I'll pivot this way, or I'll pivot this way. Most people can deal with anything if they got enough information and they understand. Mm-hmm. All right. I want you also, so I'm going to say that's tip number 1. Having a real clear communication. Communication 10x. Tip number 2 is boundaries and times and zones. This is the protected time for our relationship. Protected time. And I got that out from a therapist out of I can't remember, Philadelphia. She's in Philadelphia. No, she's not. She's in Pittsburgh. And having that protected time. And so key number 2 to winning in business and in love is having protected time for the relationship. And so is that every Friday at 6 is our time? Is that every morning from 9:30 to 10? Is that 3 a.m. in the morning? Like, what works for both of you guys where y'all are awake, aware, that you can have some desire, that you can show some desire for your partner, that you can be in a patient, clear, calm, listening communication with them, like you're not irritated, you're not tired, like show up. And what does that look like? For one of my couples, they get smoothies together every Friday morning. I just told y'all I have another couple that gets up at 3 a.m. in the morning and they talk. So what does that look like for you? I have one couple that go on walks together. And so where is that for you? What does that look like for you and your partner? So a protected time. We want you to have that protected time in the marriage, in the relationship, wherever you are. And then when you really need to like grind and work, communicating that, and I'd love for you to fill the relation gas tank up before that period. So that's there as well. All right. Let me think about what I need to say to you guys next. There's a shift. I want y'all to know this. There's this idea that kind of is in the entrepreneurial world. Once I get this money flowing, then I'll do this. Then we'll have time to do this. Then we'll have time to do this. I need y'all to know money doesn't necessarily make a relationship better. Sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. Okay? If you have missed major events in your partner's life because you were working, having more money isn't going to make that better. They want you at the event. They want to feel your support and your love. So keep that in mind. So please don't think once I make the money, everything will be okay. Once I make the money, then I'll have time. That typically isn't it. Entrepreneurs in general are not people who like, I arrived, now I'm going to sit down and spend 20 hours with the family. Typically not. Entrepreneurs typically continue to have ideas and continue on to do things because they get excited. They almost like get a high from like building the business and working the things out and working the problems. And so I want you to accept that. Just accept that you're an entrepreneur. This me. I'm not crazy. I'm the visionary. I have 13,000 business ideas, and this is the way I keep them categorized so that I don't go crazy. This is the way I introduce them to my partners and my business partners and everything. So kind of develop that for yourself of writing things down. Not Dan Kennedy. He's the thing. Dan Sullivan has a really good tool for capturing ideas and keeping them like in a file until he's ready to roll it out to the team or roll it out to his partner. Or no, I think he said the rule with his partner is that he can talk about anything, it's not real until he writes it down on this sheet of paper, which is actually really well thought out. So Dan Sullivan is his name. Anybody want to look into him as a coach? He's an excellent coach. He's excellent with relationships and time management and managing the relationship. And so hopefully I'll continue to, because I really want to study under him one day, continue to talk about that over the next year, hopefully so, because he does a really great job of talking about working your 5 days and then shutting the business off so you can really have that time to spend with the family on the weekend. So, okay. What else? I'm trying to think. I think you can have both. I know you can have both. I see people have both every day. I think I'm going to see to whom much is given, much is required. So if you want a wonderful marriage and you want a wonderful business, I need you to know that you got to perform at the next level. Like you personally, your leadership has to step up. Your communication has to step up. You're going to have to do some things differently. So a lot of entrepreneurs, I feel like we work on an as needed basis, but the needs are always there. Like we can be really unstructured with our time. And so I know like my YouTuber client was doing videos at all time of the day, kind of whenever the spirit of the day hit him. But he started dating somebody in a 9 to 5. And so we really worked to get his recording schedule and everything into a time format that will more mirror his partner's time format so they can spend that time together. Yeah, as a couples therapist, I cannot tell y'all how many times I am doing the basics with couples of saying, okay, when can we get you guys' calendars together? How can we get you guys going to bed together at the same time? And if not going to bed at the same time, how can we get you waking up at the same time? If you're in 2 separate beds, how can we get you into the same bed at least a couple of hours a week? And so these are real things. Like these are real practical things. And so there's also a thing that I say to my supervisees when I'm training them to do couples therapy: the devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. And so I want my supervisees to know the details of the marriage, the details of the relationship in which they are trying to support to betterment. And so I want to give you guys that same lesson. The devil is in the details. And so the detail of knowing your partner's life, being involved in your partner's life. What do you guys have? What do you have? What system do you have set up to make sure that your relationship works and works well? What are the little detailed things that you put in your calendar? And all of this can be, like, if you develop a system for yourself, it will work in your relationship. But to whom much is given, much is required. And so you've got to do those things. Okay? All right. Let's see. I think that's all I have to say to you guys today. I just want y'all to know that y'all can have it. I want you to know that doing them both isn't easy. Like, it's hard. You're not making it up. It really is hard. You are not making it up. It is hard to do both. It is hard to walk away when you're in the middle of working on a project and you really feel like you've hit the zone and you've gotten into it, and stop to go have dinner with your partner. It is. And I'm saying, if you want both, you have to. So, okay. All right. Boundaries and communication. Boundaries and communication. Those are the takeaways I want you to have for today. I want to continue to say, to whom much is given, much is required. I just realized I did not really put on that much makeup for you guys today. So y'all got the raw, unfiltered version of me. I am happy to be here with you guys. I am happy to support you guys as you build a relationship and as you build a business, and the systems that will support both. And I believe you can have it all. Oh, and I do want to say this, because I say this to our people all the time. I believe you can have it all, but you can't have it all at the same damn time. Okay? So if you are working a full-time job and trying to build a business, and you got 5 kids under 5, and you're trying to write the book, and you're trying to get the PhD program. Like, you can't do it all at the same time, but you can do it all. And so spread it out into chapters over your life. This is the chapter we worked on really building the family. This is the chapter when we really worked on building the business. This is the chapter when we really worked on growing our name. This is the chapter when we did. So it was 5 years here and 10 years there and 7 years here. Like, Drake, enjoy the whole journey. There's this feeling that I get. Everybody's trying to do everything right now, so then I can be successful, and then that's it. Like success to be in 5 years, and that's the stopping point. I would love this. I want you to enjoy the journey. I know that's the like mantra of every therapist, right? Enjoy the journey. But I really do want you to enjoy the journey. I want you to say, this is what we're focused on right here. And this is how we're enjoying it. And these are the steps. And these are precious moments. And we're milking all of them. And then this is going to be the focus for our next 5 years. And this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And then this is going to be our focus for the next 10 years. And this is what we're going to do it. And really like have it all laid out. So each part of the journey has its own magic. I like that. Each part of the journey has its own magic. So, and I want that. And then you'll be able to enjoy it. If you're waiting to enjoyment to the end, and I want that for you. Like, definitely there's short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. Like, that's the whole thing. I want you to know that. Like, that's the thing. I'm not negating that. There's a difference, I think, between short-term sacrifice for long-term gain and putting everything off, particularly the relationship, until this magical end that might not get here. And so let's be real clear what that looks like. Okay? All right, fabulous people. I've done my job. I spent time with you guys today. I'm so excited that I was able to do this with you guys today. Just me and you. And again, send Cherise all of the traveling light and love that you can, because she's having a time, I can tell. And happy Tuesday. Go find that old Lou Rawls song and listen to it. You'll never find. I think it'll make your heart smile. All right. Bye, buddy.
Audio Jungle.